Ronald Reagan flew into Miami mid-afternoon after announcing in Washington earlier today that he is a candidate for the Republican presidential nomination. He met here with a crowd of local supporters at the Ramada Inn off Lejeune Road at 3941 Northwest 22nd Street. As he arrived there, a man appearing to have a gun apparently grabbed Reagan and seemed to wrestle him to the ground. Channel 4 reporter Bob Mayer was at the scene in the crowd and saw what happened, and we will switch live to the scene now with our Live Eye unit for this report from Bob Mayer.
Well, Ralph, first some late word just in. A tentative identification now has been made on the suspect that was arrested here today. He is identified as Mike Lance Carvin. That's Mike Lance Carvin, C-A-R-V-I-N, said to be 23 years old, from Pompano Beach, Florida, originally from Maryland. He was whisked away from the Ramada Inn about 20 minutes ago and is reported now to be at Secret Service headquarters. It all started here at about 2:30. Governor Reagan arrived about an hour and a half late to deliver a speech here. There was a podium set up immediately behind me. The governor first apologized for being late, and he told the audience that it was the fault of a co-pilot in a late plane out of Washington. The governor spoke here for about 10 or 15 minutes and then was walking off the podium when someone from the audience requested that the governor come out and shake his hand. Apparently a friend is what it appeared to be. Governor Reagan exited the podium to his left, immediately behind me, came down the stairs and was walking this way. There was a rope set up right along here, was walking this way toward the man who had called him, an elderly gentleman, appeared to be 60 to 65 years old. He was talking with that gentleman right at around this point, and I was no more than 2 to 3 feet away from the conversation, when suddenly there was a crush of people, 4, 5, 6 people suddenly down on the ground right in front of the governor, who was suddenly pulled back. The elderly gentleman, we should make that clear right now, was not involved in this. It was someone to the right side of this man who was involved in this scuffle, and as I was watching, as the crush of people and Secret Servicemen began to clear, I could see a man, he was in his mid-20s, dark-haired man, and was fighting profusely, trying to get away, and the Secret Servicemen wrenched his arms behind his back, handcuffed him, and it appeared his face was bloody. We don't know how that happened, but it was obviously during the struggle. I did not see the gun myself, but Jim SNEDIGAR, Jim, if you'll step over just a moment, is here live with us now on the scene. Jim saw perhaps a little more than I did from a different angle. Jim, what did you see?
Well, I had seen the governor start to shake hands with some of the many well-wishers that were here, and his back was turned to me. I was standing in the concrete area there behind us, and suddenly I heard some hollering and the Secret Service men shoving the governor backwards out of the way. They had grabbed the man and was throwing him onto the ground.
You saw the gun?
I saw the gun in the hand that I couldn't identify. 3 of them were holding him, and I couldn't tell whose arms were who, and I was afraid he still had a hold of it, and I ran over and grabbed his arm, although my efforts were really not of any avail. They had already taken the gun from him. They were just holding him on the ground.
What kind of a gun did it appear to be to you?
I could only see the hand grip, and I would say it would be the size of a .32 revolver.
Thank you very much.
I was told that it might have been a toy gun.
Thank you, Jim SNEDIGAR of the steering committee, incidentally, for Governor Reagan's campaign here in South Florida. One more point. Secret Service report that another possible suspect, said also to be in his mid-20s, blonde-haired, wearing a cap, broke into a reported dead run immediately after this incident, and he was not caught. This is Bob Mayer reporting live from the Ramada Inn near Miami International Airport.
We'll have a complete wrap-up and further details as they are available at 6 o'clock tonight here on Channel 4. And that's our special report.
We now join Tattletales in progress.